All right, guys. 107, November 28th. It's the Friday after Thanksgiving, before the weekend. I hope everyone's feeling well. Let's take a look at disclosure and get to it. Um, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's shortened holiday trading session where things kind of ended pretty strong. Just like that in 1 week. Wow. That's why sometimes you have to make sure not to have opinions, because opinions could work against you two different ways. And we've seen it many times. I've seen it so many times. I've been, trading these markets since 1998. I've seen so many traders come and go because they have an opinion that the market doesn't confirm. Whether it's not getting out of the way with sell rules, or whether it's, you know, trying to short a rally that you think can't go higher that can go higher, or there's lots of different ways. It's harder to be in the business than to be out of the business. But when you're out of the business, I get it. Anyway, with that being said, I'm not preaching here. All I'm going to say is, we've had a pretty good week. First week in a while for me too, where on a Monday I'm like, let's stack days, and then I don't make money Monday, and then it's like a choppy week. That happened a lot during this mishmash. All the way I think into even here, and then I did get out, got kind of flat. Was trying to get flat here, and then didn't make money short that day, but also followed my rules and lost small, so I felt good about it. So I was in the right frame of mind for Friday to execute on this red dog reversal here. Wasn't sure what would happen, where it would go. No one ever knows. You can only just measure it and then stick with it if that's the case. And you had this first day where we got to the 8th day. This was that high, and then really it was Monday, and I'm like, are we going to take out the 8th day? Is there going to be any power? Is it feeble? And we took it out, and really and hit this 670 level, which was kind of eye popping. That to me was like, oh wow, look at those 2 days. You know, Thursday meant nothing, just like here this October 10th meant nothing. And then we had about a half hour. I remember that session where it retested 6654, took out 670, went up to 676, and now all of a sudden 683.70, just like that. How did you behave? How did you handle it? How'd you go with it? How'd you interact? I got the alpha team on here right now. Let's see. Okay, so sometimes I ask. I say, all right. So for the week, what do you guys? What do you grade yourself for the week? What do you? A plus. All right. You had a lot of A plus calls. All right. You got a F. You got a B. You got B plus. Got a solid B, A, B. That's good. A minus, B minus. Killed it. A. There you go. Now, did you sit through that Thursday bearish engulfing candle, or did you rebuild on Friday with the red dog reversal and add throughout the week and measure it and take off? Because then you could really, then I give you guys extra credit, not just sitting through a disaster day that Thursday, buying more and then getting saved. I mean, like really kind of getting out of the way, maybe making money short, and then getting involved, and then kind of rebuilding that week. You made a killing short last week, okay? But did so Dan, you made a killing short last week? Did you make a little bit long this week? Like if you made a killing short and made a little bit long, awesome. If you got your clock cleaned, you know, long last week and then lost this week, then you're in trouble. Be with extra credit. All right. um, yes. Anyway, so I would say I'll give myself, a B with a little extra credit, because I also kind of got out of a lot of things and got back in and wasn't like a deer in headlights, and put stuff back on and managed it and had some hedges and traded around it. But anyway, I know Rick, I feel like we're always a lot on the same page. We kind of know, we feel it when the market's crap, and we maybe could adjust better. But anyway, so that's that. So everyone had, good, I'm happy for everyone. We'll see how it goes from here on out. Let's not count our money. But it's cool. It's cool to small wins. Like I feel good too. Like small wins. Spies. We'll see what happens now. Just so you guys know. So I went out with which I've been doing the last few days into this resistance. I'm not like shorting in the money. Like I shorted some 686 for Tuesday, some 684, which is a little closer. I'm smaller, just in case we have a down open, or just even a digestion day. Like right, 5 days up, we have a digestion day, a little bit down. So I'd be able to collect that and figure out what's going on here. Um, yeah, get a breather for 2 days. Well, why not? Like you, you know, the what's it called? Spies could come into here, like if you think about it, and still be very strong, which is right there. That would be the moving average. It could come to 676 and not even get to the moving averages. And what would that do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All it would do is come into here. So that's why, and then still make new highs in December. So a lot of things could happen, but we're not going to know. We're not. You don't know. It's Friday, 112. You're going into the weekend. You're making your bed, and you'll figure out, how you got to sleep in it next week. I have some shorts. I still have some longs, and I still trying to stay with certain, with a move here. Anyway, so that's a spies. Q is very similar. Um, Lots of ways to manage this, this range. Here was your red dog reversal. This day really showed me some power. Then he came back and actually they shook it up here and retested that high right there. And now boom, 619 right in front of some major resistance. So we'll see. What did the IWM do today? Yeah, a little bit more control, a little bit more subdued. That's good. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe we create a bull flag here and then we could play the IWMs to take that out a little bit more. Here's the moving averages. Some guys said they made money in JP Morgan. Yeah, that was a nice trade right here. Congratulations if you got stopped out at 316. Some guys were buying 292 versus 290.50. Not me. I called it out the other day. I'm like, when JP Morgan went from red to green, I'm like, hey guys, this could be a spot in the banks. But again, I didn't play it, so I can't be like that. I got a C minus. But anyway, so with that said, well, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on. So are you in it? Are you doing it? So that's all you can ask yourself. Are you participating in a way that's comfortable? And sometimes you got to get a little uncomfortable so you can make more money. So let's start out with the week. So the week started out with the spies and the Qs. I feel like on Monday we went back to Tesla right here. Got above 402, and I think I was in Tesla all week. It's not really showing tremendous power, but there was ways to play it. It's back above the moving averages. This 429 got taken out, so I'll put this over here. There's probably some room to there if it wants it. Here, a lot of things held, and hasn't been the best trader in the world, but if you gave it some room and you didn't expect too much, you were able to make some money in Tesla. Let's see. Anybody make money in Tesla this week? Let's see. Tesla. Anybody? Yeah. No, they did a little bit. I mean, we sold puts, I had options, stock. That's good. Tesla was good to everyone a little bit. Wasn't like the powerful Tesla. Actually, the first day gave you that 26 points, and then and now it's worked its way higher somewhat. We'll see. This is 442. I'm in shares and I sold puts. I don't have calls. I had calls this week, which was good on that inside day. I bought more. That was fun. And now I'm just in some shares, and if it's lower, we'll see. And I have some puts sold just to have more exposure without chasing. So that was a good one. I feel like Microsoft was probably like a really nice surprise. I feel like I haven't played that in a while. I don't remember who, I think I was on, I don't even remember who really impulsed me to do it, but it looked like, they were selling the strength in Google. They were going to do reversion to the mean trade, so we bought some calls in Microsoft, some shares. Let's see if anyone made money, because we haven't done Microsoft in a while. So this is a good example of just a new setup, and to go with. Anybody make money in Microsoft? Yeah, that was Fibby. Yes, chilling. So it's again, it's not just Tesla. This is Microsoft. Microsoft, I haven't made money in a while, so it's good to again clear your mind, go back to a trade. If the market confirms it, you stay with it. So what about Meta? Meta, for me, I was happy. With Meta, I bought it. I stayed in it from I think what 598 to 630. Meta was a big win. Meta's hard too, still mentally from way back when. But again, you could gave you away. Some people like, how does an active sequence start? So I would say this is a good active sequence. You had your red dog reversal, gave you a quick move. You could have taken it home. I bet you this thing will be 493 to the moving averages. I still have options. I didn't take the stock. Meta, I just got away from just because, I felt like I wanted to just book it. So that was here into there. But you could have got back involved in a small little pullback, and now, and as I said, I think it gets to 670-ish in time. So that's another nice little trade. Not a 52-week high trade, one of those, but a nice move, and it probably gets to 670. You don't need to stay with every trade, or every name. Um, I will say Apple was pretty cool the way it worked out, where um, we were able to like into this move. I think I just for some reason I felt like it would be that day, and we bought a lot of it, sold a lot into 280. So I had enough to like watch it, but not enough that it cares. And now all of a sudden it looks really much better. It looks like a perfect little bull flag. There's your 280, and could take that out. It was down, a dollar. I was buying some options, today, and then all of a sudden Fib saw like a huge block of buyers in the 280s next week. So I think we all bought more. I haven't put it on as a power play just in case, and it's looking pretty good going into next week. Hopefully, the sales were good. A lot of stores filled for the holiday, et cetera, et cetera. Moving on, Nvidia I didn't trade once this week. A whole lot of nothing. Red dog reversal into the moving averages. At least it wasn't a headwind, so that's good. I don't think any of us really got too enamored with it. We moved on and we just kept trading. That's pretty cool. Same thing with Palantir. I don't think anyone was too enamored with it and say, I got to short the market because Palantir and Nvidia are down. No, you would have got your clock cleaned. Actually, Palantir was a little bit better. It's kind of steady, steady Eddie. Who's Eddie and who's? Why is it always like steady Eddie? Just because just because. Is there an Eddie that was steady out there, or is it just because steady Eddie rhymes? Anyway, Faraz, Apple's also a core holding for guess who? Chase Redler. It's his best hold. He's learning every few weeks when Apple makes a new high, I make Chase give me 3 facts about Apple. So he's learning about the stock market in his Robinhood account. Remember when he bought it during the pandemic in 2020? That's when I started his Robinhood account. It could be Steady Freddy, but then the Eddie, it's Eddie Haskell. Oh, all right. Anyway, what else? What else? What else? IBIT is not great, but it's broken beyond broken. At least we were buying in here, added. I trimmed some and bought some back. Maybe it's got to do a little bit of work above this 51.23. I don't think, I just still think it's a lot of slippage out there in Bitcoin, a lot of deleveraging. A lot of people got hurt because, they were kind of off sides. But what's this low here? That's the 56.39. What's the 21 day here? 54-ish. I still think, I sold some, bought some. I got rid of Ethereum just because I don't have a crazy thesis there. And lately, Tom Lee gets me a little annoyed. But this never, if you're in it still, it never broke this spot. How high did it get today? 52.85. You want to look at the coin? Sure. The coin's definitely better than Mr. I'll take a look though. Let's see, coin. Well, didn't give you a blaring red dog reversal, but gave you a little one. And then just like some of these other, kind of super growth whatever's cleared the spot, gave you a little follow through. They sold into strength. Not the end of the world, but it is a doji. I would say this needs to hold here and go sideways for it to continue. It's coin. My son's a smart man. He's not that smart. He's all right though. He works hard. He's pretty smart. Hopefully he gets a. He needs like a 31, 32 on the ACT to help his cause for basketball. But anyway, he only got a 28 on the first dry run. So my wife's a little upset with him, but it's fine. He's working hard now. Hopefully he takes the test on, I think, December 13th, and if he does well, he'll be done with it. You're allowed to take it a few times. Anywho, so coin at least is better than Mr. Look how bad Mr. was. That's got nothing bounce, absolutely nothing. Could still work higher, but still. Not really, not that much, Dan. You could use any pattern on any time frame. It could be 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. I usually base most of my patterns off of daily charts because they're more significant, they're more actionable. UNG came off a little bit. big level here. 200 day smacked. Hasn't been above the 200 day in a while. Did have a kind of big move, so it might need a little bit more time. Some guys impulsed me into it, but the same guys that impulsed me into silver. And look at that. Hi ho! That was a nice trade. How high did it get? 51.27. Steady Eddie. It started with calm, consistent Yankee pitcher named Eddie Lopad in the early 1950s and quickly became a general nickname for anybody reliable and steady. Okay, there you go. Steady Eddie. I knew. I knew it. I knew it. What did gold do today? Gold had a pretty big move today, too. Not as much as silver, but silver's a tighter market. Looks like it's going to get into this gap. How high did it get today? 388. Right there. Hope everyone's got some fun things planned. You guys were supposed to. All right, guys. Yeah, it does look a little juicy. Maybe plays catch up to silver if silver extends. We shall see. All right, I got to jump. I got a lot going on today. Thanks, Scott. We are up early and work late. Grind and have fun. Have a great weekend with the love. With all love. Love it. All right, guys. I appreciate you. You know, nice 5 days of stacking, which is good. That they do add up, and we'll see what happens next week. And it's a new month. It's December. We all start back at zero again. Some of us are for the quarter. I get paid quarterly. Monica, thanks for everything. I wish you and your family the best. Same thing for Amber and everyone involved, everyone here. Don't let your highs get too high, your lows get too low. It's really cooler heads usually prevail. It's always good to get a little excited and have some fun, but in the markets you got to really like stay even keel. You know, bad times definitely suck and it could be choppy, but you know, times like that usually lead to better times if you're thinking clearly and able to handle it. And then once things get really good and you're up there, up there, up there, and you see me with like 42 positions, remind me to get the hell out of the way. And the oscillator is probably plus 80. Anyway, with that said, have a great weekend. I have my cousins coming over, my dad's here, and I'm gonna post a few charts. Let's get a good song. What's a good holiday song for while I'm posting a few charts here? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? 12/2's your birthday. Jingle Bell Rock. Yeah, it's not quite Thanksgiving, but I mean that's Christmas.